The originally solemn and serious political meeting turned into a live palace drama full of alcohol smell, killing aura, and perfume scent. According to leaks, for the first time, vice state-level big shots were required to bring their wives, and they were collectively given a soul interrogation. Some had to self-criticize their family style. Some were ordered to bite others, and the spearhead directly pointed at Peng Liyuan's harem circle. What the outside world sees on CCTV is a scene of clear wind and upright atmosphere. But the real key is the black box moment after the cameras were kicked out. Someone got drunk, someone turned pale, someone got named, and someone's backer suddenly became the center of the storm. Even more shocking leaks say this was not just a democratic life meeting, but a real battlefield of power trading and life-and-death negotiations. Is Xi Jinping the one holding the script, or the one who was forced to sign a surrender letter with an ashen face? When the Politburo turns into a courtroom, when the anti-corruption sword slashes toward the skirts of the harem, this is not rectification. This is the moment when the system's cracks are torn wide open. But this is only one fragment of the rumors circulating in the underworld. On the other hand, some people posted, "Zhang Yuxia, you disappointed everyone." In this era of wind and cranes crying in fear, everyone originally expected you to become a turning point, but they only saw another outcome of bowing and showing loyalty again. In the upcoming 2026 Bing Wu year and 2027 Dingwei year, the legendary Red Horse Red Sheep calamity exactly coincides with the 1949 Cho Niu Ox year when the CCP was established, entering the extremely ominous clashing Tai Sui phase. The CCP will begin to disintegrate. The real big curtain may suddenly be lifted at the coming keynote, and that moment will decide the next page of China's power map. During the Christmas season, Zhongnanhai seemed to stage a bizarre and chilling palace-fighting blockbuster. From December 25th to 26th, the Politburo held two heavyweight meetings in a row. This was not just routine procedure, it was packed with drama. According to leaks, the scene was so absurd it felt like a horror movie. There are even rumors of Peng Liyuan being stabbed with official permission behind the scenes. First, the official version. According to CCP custom, the Democratic Life meeting is often held over 2 days because they have to do that whole routine of criticism and self-criticism. In plain words, everyone has to strip themselves naked and let others examine them. Of course, what CCTV shows the whole nation is still the same old show. Suits straight, expressions solemn, everyone sitting properly, and at the end, Xi Jinping comes out to summarize, stressing iron discipline and hard rules, meaning the core is very stable. The situation is clean and safe. But the real key is the next day after the cameras were driven out. That extremely absurd session is the content that cannot be shown to ordinary people. The air in Zhongnanhai was not filled with solemn political atmosphere, but a weird mixture of alcohol smell, killing aura, and ladies' perfume. Jiang Wangjing, who has been continuously leaking high-level CCP movements, recently released a series of exclusive revelations. He said this Politburo Democratic Life meeting was the first time wives were required to attend. In the past, at most it was just family members attending anti-corruption education sessions. So those vice state-level big shots who usually wear the great, glorious, correct halo, one by one sat up straight and bowed their heads to self-criticize, while a very special audience group, their wives, collectively received soul interrogation. The scene was extremely embarrassing. On December 26th, U.S. time, Jiang Wangsheng exploded again. The Democratic Life meeting was held yesterday morning. The Politburo meeting was held yesterday afternoon. Yesterday evening was the Politburo team-building party at the Great Hall of the People. Xi Jinping and Li Qiang both got very drunk. This afternoon, they discussed personnel issues. How did Xi Jinping and Li Qiang get so drunk? According to rumors, Li Qiang and Old Xi were at the Great Hall. Whether it was to muster courage for the upcoming scene, or because the situation was too chaotic and they couldn't figure it out, they needed alcohol to drown their worries. Anyway, they got completely smashed. Li Qiang even missed part of the meeting schedule because of it and was offline for a while. So who was the first to break the awkwardness? According to the leak, the first to stand up and self-criticize was the so-called discipline czar Li Si. But what he criticized was not work, it was family style. Then came an even more dramatic scene. Li Ji's wife actually stood up too. She started with a long narrative, carefully describing how she usually interacts and socializes with wives of high officials from various provinces. It sounded like casual family gossip at first, and the atmosphere seemed to relax for a moment. But just when everyone thought it was just family chit-chat, her tone suddenly changed. She directly named Rong Li, the wife of Ma Xingru. Commentator Jiang Feng said about this, "This isn't self-criticism at all. This is clearly following orders to bite someone." Even more crucial, everyone knows very well that the real big backer behind Rong Li is her heavyweight bestie, the big tree she relies on, Peng Liyuan. And this bite was not random. It came with official backing. Go back and look at People's Daily, page 4, on December 25th, the very same day the Politburo meeting started. The Central Commission for Discipline Inspection unusually issued a document, Guidelines for Investigating Evidence of New Types of Corruption and Hidden Corruption. Pay special attention to these 8 key words: new types of corruption and hidden corruption. What does hidden corruption mean? It's not crude direct money taking, but using influence, art pieces, or specific relationship people, like best friends or white gloves, to transfer benefits. This document is clearly a tailor-made arrest warrant for Peng Liyuan and Ma Xingru. But Jiang Wangjing leaked that although wives were required to attend, Xi Jinping did not bring Peng Liyuan, and he limited the responsibility pursuit to the Xinjiang area only, precisely to protect Peng Liyuan. Jiang Wangjing said, "The cases of former Xinjiang Party Secretary Ma Xingru and former Xinjiang Executive Vice Chairman Chen Wei-jun are clearly limited to investigating Xinjiang issues only. Other involved people who never went to Xinjiang and did not help Rong Li launder money. If they return the ill-gotten gains before January 15, 2026, it will only be treated as disciplinary violation. The purpose is to protect Peng Liyuan." We can see that the internal struggle at the top of the CCP is in full swing. The anti-corruption sword, originally held high above officials' heads, is now slashing directly at the skirts of the harem. No matter whether Xi Jinping can protect Peng Liyuan or not, this slash means that the family-ruled world system Xi Jinping painstakingly built has already suffered a fatal crack at the end of 2025, almost announcing its collapse. Many people ask, facing such humiliation, why does Xi Jinping endure? Why doesn't he slam the table and flip everything over? Rumors in the Jianghu say that behind that tightly closed door, a political negotiation has quietly begun. Sitting on one side of the table are the old generation faction led by Hu Jintao and Wen Jiabao, plus Zhang Yuxia, who holds the gun. The bargaining chip of the old generation faction? Fatal black material. Ironclad evidence of massive corruption involving Peng Liyuan's family and her close circle. They slapped the evidence on the table, and Xi Jinping on the other side no longer has the strength to flip the table. Now, what Xi Jinping faces is not choosing the future, but choosing his ending. Option 1. Fight to the death. If you still dare to act tough and hold on, we will pull out all the cabinets of black material and show the whole world the true face of your pure family style. At that time, not only you, but your wife too. Both will be sent straight to Kencheng, becoming the most symbolic husband and wife political achievement exhibition in history. Option 2. Pretend to be dignified and quietly step down. You obediently hand over power. Don't block the way. Cooperate with us to reshuffle. We reluctantly let you live, help you keep your family wealth, give you an empty title, let you slowly fade away, and pretend to live decently in the corner in your later years. Look at the recent news broadcast, that Xi Jinping with an ashen face, and you can imagine what the final answer was. Dear viewers, when do you think this big drama will truly lift the curtain and be performed in public? Will the legendary Great Limit, Red Horse, Red Sheep calamity in 2026 and 2027 really come true? The above plots are indeed based on certain sources of leaks and messages circulating in internal circles and have a certain degree of credibility. But we must admit that the CCP's operations are always covered in a black box. The real power game is forever hidden behind the curtain. What the outside world can see is only fragments of the iceberg and carefully arranged results. As for the full picture and true logic of the internal struggle, it is always shielded by the thick curtain of power. No one can see it completely. Therefore, some commentators say, at the recent military promotion ceremony, Xi Jinping looked like a shop assistant mechanically reading from the script, while Zhang Yuxia sat in the back with a relaxed expression. That is not the look of a deputy watching his boss. That is the cold gaze of a jailer watching a prisoner. But commentator Jin Gaudi posted on X platform, Zhang Yuxia, you disappointed everyone. Your silence is not wisdom, but a betrayal of the people and your family. In this era of wind and cranes crying in fear, everyone originally expected you to become a turning point, yet we only see another outcome of bowing your head and showing loyalty. In the recent Politburo Democratic Life meeting, on the surface, they still shouted in unison, deeply understand the decisive significance of the two establishments, strengthen the four consciousnesses, firm the four confidences, and achieve the two safeguards. Such collective loyalty scenes were supposed to symbolize party unity, but in the current moment, they only provoke deeper disappointment. Facing the rumored disappearance waves in the whirlpool of power struggle, Zhang Yuxia was originally seen as a potential force to break the deadlock, and people hoped you would use military power to do something. However, it seems your choice is only to appear low-key and continue to acquiesce to the status quo. Many people believe you hold the chips to change everything: military power, red second-generation background, prestige in the army. There was once an open letter listing three paths, extreme, yet expressing the urgent expectations of the people. Best strategy: act decisively. Use thunderous means to take down Xi Jinping, abolish lifelong tenure, lead the country toward democratic constitutionalism, leave your name in history, save millions from fire and water. Middle strategy: follow Zhang Yang's example. End with one death. At least preserve your posthumous reputation. Don't let your family suffer copying and extermination. Worst strategy: continue to endure humiliation and live ignobly. Eventually get secretly arrested, smeared, and imprisoned for life, ending miserably. History has repeatedly proven that toward an extremely suspicious dictator with no bottom line, any fantasy of just endure a little longer and you'll land safely is self-deception. Xu Kaiho endured until late-stage cancer and still got handcuffed, dying in the hospital. Guo Baxiang, Zhang Yang, and others also thought cooperating with investigation would protect their families. Result: families destroyed, subordinates implicated. Your father, General Zhang Zongshan, fought battles his whole life. What his son gets should not be living in fear and shame. If you still want to protect your family, you should take action. Use your position and influence to push real reform and break the highly concentrated power situation. Otherwise, continuing to shout support in front of the cameras will only invite more suspicion and purges. You will regret it when it's too late. It's never too late to mend the pen after the sheep are lost. But if you still do nothing, this disappointment will turn into eternal regret. Earlier we mentioned the red horse, red sheep calamity. In Chinese history, whenever this calamity comes, it is often accompanied by great disasters, wars, or dynastic changes. 2026 is Bing Wu year. Bing is fire red, Wu is horse, so red horse year. 2027 is Ding Wei year. Ding is fire red, Wei is sheep, so red sheep year. Therefore, 2026 and 2027 are the legendary red horse, red sheep calamity. And this red horse, red sheep calamity exactly clashes with the Choniu, ox year of 1949 when the CCP was founded, an extremely ominous year of clashing Tai Sui. The CCP will begin to fall apart. 1949 was Jichu ox year, the founding year of the CCP. 2027 is Dingwei sheep year. Ox and sheep belong to the six clashes. They oppose and clash with each other. That is to say, the CCP's natal ox year meets the sheep year in 2027, a direct clash year, commonly called clashing Tai Su. But actually, the CCP will start clashing Tai Sui 1 year earlier in 2026. Therefore, the red horse, red sheep calamity of 2026 to 2027 is precisely the ominous clashing Tai Sui year for the CCP. Xi Jinping was born in 1953, year of the snake. Mao Zedong, the first-generation leader of the CCP, was also snake, born December 1893. Mao is exactly one full 60-year cycle, one Jiazi, earlier than Xi. This also fits the Jianghu saying of snake begins, snake ends. 2025 is the snake year, nominally Xi Jinping's Binming year, conflicting Tai Sui, but actually Xi started conflicting Tai Sui 1 year earlier, in 2024. Before and after the third plenum in 2024, Xi Jinping reportedly suffered a stroke. Before the fourth plenum in 2025, Xi's 9 generals who were his close confidants were arrested. Xi Jinping has already lost military power and become the second Hua Guofeng. The CCP seems to have entered collective leadership. And the celebrity Yu Mingming, who shares the same birthday as Xi Jinping on June 15th, was reportedly sacrificed to extend Xi's life, shocking the world. In the 54th image of the Tuibei prophecy book, the picture of 5 sons chasing the ox also prophesies the heaven-destined destruction of the CCP founded in the Chou ox year, and that Xi Jinping will be the last generation of the CCP. When the moment comes for Xi Jinping to lose power and step down, the doomsday disintegration of the CCP will also arrive soon. The CCP pirate ship is already completely rotten. Everyone, are you ready to jump ship?